So today is the day, guys. Today is that day rather, to ascend, right? It is probably one of the most hyped days for Grim Dawn players in the last, like, I don't know, months, maybe even years rather. And it is also a big day for everybody who has been supporting the Community League seasons, as some of the features of that season had actually a direct impact on development of Fangs of Asterkarn, as we have been, well, officially recognized a couple like months ago already. But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be like some content in the next expansion that is heavily inspired by the league as well. So let's go over the Misadventure first of all, right? Misadventure number 183, Ascension. A grim misadventure indeed. If last time was veritably giant, this time we're ascending to the heavens. Last time they were just like spoilering some new giant mob and like some spears, nothing too crazy honestly. And then coming back down because there is no sky in an RPG. The sky is the limit, if even. When we first announced Fangs of Asterkarn last year, we laid out our planned feature set. Yeah, this was they posted like at the end of last year. So conquer the Ascendant game mode, transformative 10th mastery, new chapter, potion customization, FX transportation, expanded crucible, growing shadow realm, new items, new awakened items, new factions. At the top of this list was the Ascendant mode, the crowning system of the next expansion. What some people thought is only going to be like Ultimate Veteran is going to be a little bit more than that now. Since this is central to today's reveal, let's first go over what Ascendant mode is going to be. After installing Fangs of Asterkarn, when you reach level 100 on a character, or well, when you boot up the game and scroll down your list of level 100 characters, you will find the option to toggle a new difficulty mode. So you have to be level 100, and I would assume you also have to have Ultimate unlocked on that character. But definitely you have to be level 100, otherwise it doesn't work, like doesn't unlock. So yeah, much like Veteran was for normal difficulty, Ascendant mode is applied on top of your Ultimate difficulty. So yeah, you have to have Ultimate unlocked. Which means all of your quest progress and decisions will immediately carry over, and you will be able to switch between the two at any time without losing any progress. So if Ascendant mode is too hard for you, you can go back to Ultimate, like normal Ultimate, whenever you want. Ascendant mode is intended to be challenging, with monsters posing a threat similar to what the SR60 shard would be. Like the 60th shard. Honestly, 60th shard nowadays should be doable on like pretty much every single decently decked out character with no problem. But that's like the baseline, so that's a good baseline to start from, I think. That's a very good like starting point. Because this means that while like the more skilled players with like the, you know, the top G builds, whatever, they run like SR 75 to 76 for farming. If you're either like less skilled or you have like worse gear, you can do like 60, like usually no problem, right? And this is like who this is intended to be aimed at. But what it will do is enable a number of new mechanics intended to spice up your campaign experience and make running through the world exciting again. In that sense, we want to make the campaign world the third pillar of endgame. Alright, so they are basically ascending the entire main campaign to be part of the endgame again. Which, well, was the last time, I think maybe like in 2016 when the game first came out. Okay, so table of content for the Ascendant mode. We have Ascendant drops, Tempest totems, resplendent throws, marked by the void, the dread, and maybe even more. Okay, so Ascendant drops. This is, I really like this, so let's read it first, right? Currently in Grim Dawn, where you get a rare item, unless it's a monster frequent, you're probably not going to give it much thought unless you're really struggling to get it in that gear slot. That is understandable, because monster frequents come with substantial baseline stats that common items simply cannot compete with. I mean, they give literally nothing, so... for this reason, Ascendant mode will grant common items a chance to ascend. Ascendant items will roll a third affix that comes with many powerful unusual bonuses. These will help you get some hard-to-find skill bonuses and to fill in gaps in your stats. You may even find a damage conversion that cannot be found anywhere else. And here we see a spoiler, right? Imposing Preserver Crest of Mending. But then it also says Ascended Rare Medal, which also has like a new icon, as you can see here, right? This is a new icon. And then you can see here, it's not like listed in the name, but you see down here like Ascended bonus It has, for example, physical to cold conversion, chaos to cold conversion, Menhir's Will, Icebound. Now, something like this, right, might seem familiar to you if you have played like the community leagues, right? This is like a little bit like the corruption essences that we have had in the leagues, but in the leagues you could like basically corrupt any item with those, which here you would only get these Ascendant bonuses on gear that otherwise would be useless rather, which I, as a baseline, like a lot more, because it still like leaves a lot of room for like modding and like the leagues to build upon. But like for the base game, this is, I think, the right way to do it, and this does indeed make these items finally interesting or maybe even viable again. How difficult will SR60 be in Ascendant mode when Ascendant mode in SR60 is when Ascendant mode is basically SR60 in Ultimate? That is a good question, and it's going to be a lot harder, that's for sure. How hard exactly? I don't know. I'm curious whether or not, I mean, you should be able to go into SR as well in Ascendant mode. Why wouldn't you, right? That's going to be very interesting. Yo, Dane Bramage, welcome. Wait, I think you already asked me that question. I remember your name, and I think remember you asking about Biff as well at some point. Kinyoka says, farming trash mobs for legendary gear in Ascendant mode. Is that gonna be the new meta? Maybe, who knows. Instead of like monster totem farming in Ultimate, I guess. Instead of like SR farming, maybe not. Like, you wanna like farm some harder mobs and just trash mobs in the main campaign in Ascendant mode. Anyway, what do you think about this bonus? Is this like enough to make an item like this viable? I think this is really nice, but like when I compare this to like a monster frequency baseline stats plus a skill modifier on top, I feel like this is still worse. I mean, it's definitely a lot better and it's like worth considering, and it does give you maybe some stats that you couldn't get in other ways, so I wonder what the other Ascendant bonuses are gonna be. If you need a conversion, it could be interesting. Otherwise, it seems not quite good enough yet. But I mean, there might be crazier stuff out there, right? I mean, on slots where you can't get skill modifiers, like say pants or boots or chests or like rings, right? That might be a lot better. On medals, you can actually get skill modifiers, right? So on metal, it might not be quite as good. But also, it's still like subject to change, and playtesting will also probably help them with like balancing stuff. So it's definitely going to be very interesting in either way. We believe this will not only make common drops more exciting again, but will give you new ways to deck out your builds. And of course, this new affix will be compatible with the affix reroll system coming up, Fangs of Asterkarn, but more on that in a future update. Okay, so the actual affix reroll system is only going to be teased here, but they're not going to go into the details in this very post. But all we know is that for a certain cost, maybe with limits, maybe without limits, you're going to be able to reroll your affixes, and apparently also the Ascendant affix. From a model's perspective, I think it's... I wonder if this is like a fourth slot, basically, for an item, or if it's like using the third slot. Because usually in the past, items always had like 3 slots that could be modified. Like apart from component and rune, which are like, I guess, slot 4 and 5 already, you had prefix, suffix, and smith bonus, right? So it's like three stats there, which you could like put on an item. So I wonder if this Ascendant bonus is like another one on top, which, if true, would open up even more modding possibilities. Next up, we have the Tempest totems. If you're a fan of monster totem hunting, then this feature is for you. In Ascendant mode, all totems will have a chance to upgrade to a new challenging Tempest totem. These accursed effigies will spit out powerful enemies and a mini-boss, which you will have to defeat to earn their loot. Tempest totems will have a chance of dropping some unique items that you will struggle to find anywhere else in the game. Alright, so this is basically... I would say at least the power of the like the purple totems, whatever they call again, that you find like in the side zones. They're like probably harder, like where like you spawn the signs of hunger usually. And every single totem can become one, so it's gonna be really nice. This is like a chance, so not every single totem is gonna be like this, but it's like a chance, right? I think this is pretty cool though. Like it does make the like all the objects that are, you know, worth checking out in the normal Ultimate game, also worth checking out here, and has like additional loot, additional challenges, and apparently also like almost totem exclusive items. If this sounds like the loot that you get from the other totems as well, which technically can be found outside of the totems, but their chance is like basically 0, so you will have to farm these to get like the loot from these probably. At least it's gonna be like way more time efficient to like farm these totems to get the loot from them. As every totem in Cairn will have a chance to upgrade in this manner, all of your favorite farming routes will continue to be a valid option. Yeah. So every totem, no matter if it's like Ancient or Standard or Forsaken, I guess will have like roughly the same chance to upgrade, I guess. Maybe like Ancient's gonna have like a slightly higher chance, who knows. Next up we have Resplendent Troves. Treasure troves have fallen a bit out of favor over time, but we will be touching up their loot for all versions of the game in a future update. So not only in Ultimate, not only in Ascendant mode, but also like in normal, Elite and Ultimate treasure troves are gonna get an update. What exactly that's gonna be, we'll see. However, when playing Ascendant mode, you will find that the troves will have a chance of upgrading to a Resplendent Trove. So I guess like the same system as with the totems, like it replaces the totem with like a better one, and here it replaces the chest with like a better chest. And I guess I wonder if it's like, I mean, you will definitely like need dynamite to open them, but will there be a challenge, or is it like the challenge just finding them and then like opening them up? Who knows, right? Because there's something else here called Marked by the Void, which is very reminiscent of a League mechanic. For the next mechanic, we took a cue from one of Grim Dawn Community League's popular features. In Ascendant mode, virtually all treasure chests will have a chance to become Marked by the Void. When this occurs, opening the chest will attract fiends from the darkest depths of the Chthon's domain to your location. Defeat them to earn additional loot and some of the new crafting materials from Fangs of Asterkarn. So, well... Ghost ambush chests, more like Chthon's ambush chests, I guess. I mean, either way, yeah, we all know this mechanic, I guess. If you haven't played a league yet and you wanna check out this mechanic and play one of the leagues, right? Marked chests have a likelihood to attracting the vile heralds of Chthon, which were spawned in this update here, which look like this, kinda worrisome creatures. Do not lose your sanity to the void. All right. The Dread. Now this is a little bit more confusing so far, or like a bit more like maybe like a riddle. Lastly, as you progress in Ascendant mode, you may find the unsettling feeling that you're being watched. As you slay enemies, you may attract the attention of the Dread, an unspeakable horror drawn to wanton slaughter and destruction. This new mechanic might seem familiar to those that have been playing in the recently released 1.2.1 update, which overhauled nemesis boss spawns. This powerful foe is not something to be trifled with. Only the most prepared characters will have any hope of defeating it, ones that regularly tackle some of Grim Dawn's mightiest enemies. So this... What do you think this is? I kind of think this is like the new Uber boss. Like an Ascendant mode only like exclusive Uber boss. And it spawns similar to the nemesis system. So whenever you do something, whenever you kill a lot of enemies or whatever you do, right? I mean, I guess it's gonna be like kill based. It's gonna spawn the Dread, and the Dread is like, well, the non-secret Celestial of Fangs of Asterkarn. Or maybe it's gonna be like the Dread, Mogdrogen as a wolf, and then like one secret one on top, right? Who knows? Like it has to be like Celestial level. I think. We'll see though, right? We'll see. Because spawning this too often, and if you can't like disable, I guess like you're not supposed to disable anything in Ascendant mode, right? It's like Xanta's basically saying like, okay, if you wanna disable anything in Ascendant mode, just go play Ultimate, right? You fucking pleb, right? That's what he's saying, I guess. So if you wanna like play this, you better be prepared. Better be prepared to rip. Alright, more. As development went on, we predictably found ourselves quickly returning to old habits, which is to say that once again, you are getting more. Ascendant mode was always going to have all matter of new gameplay mechanics and challenges, but we were not satisfied with that. We started tinkering with the possibilities. What we came away with is the Ascension altar. Now this reminded me a little bit of the alteration tree from the last Community League as well. The Ascension altar. When you reach the current settlement in Asterkarn, you will gain access to the sacred site. The Ascension altar enables you to take all the mechanics we described above and more, and to cater them to your playstyle. The altar is split into two sections, the center and the outer circles. It's kind of like a world mutator, right? You can put stuff in that you want, and then it mutates the entire world. So a little bit like, for example, the iteration tree in the leagues, from the community leagues, right? Or like the shrines and titan quests, I guess, something like that, right? So the center, right, the middle of the altar channels the elements themselves, allowing you to manipulate all of your item drops. By inserting different crafting materials, you can bias loot to match your preferred damage type. Looking for bleed damage items, use a Chthonics use of Seal of Binding. Interested in pet gear, insert a Manticore, alright. Or here you see the Ancient Heart, which does what exactly? Additional chance of physical items, right? Right, here you see like this has like physical items, so it's gonna be also very interesting from like a modding perspective, because the Ascension altar seems to have like lots of power to alter the game in many different ways. And also we have another spoiler here. What is this? Ashes of Awakening? Frozen Aster? These are like new crafting materials, aren't they? Aspect of who? Aspect of Baranath? Who's all? Who's AW? Bloodbound. Okay, there's some Bloodbound as well. Bloodbound effigy, maybe? What do you think this is gonna be? And also, yeah, then you have the outer circle, right? While the sentiment materializes your loot, the outer circle will aid you in acquiring it. Each material inserted in the outer circle improves your odds of encountering the new Ascendant mode mechanics, or improving the upgrades. If you are a fan of monster totems, the new Bloodbound totem, oh yeah, it's Bloodbound totem, not effigy. He actually mentions this here. Will increase your chances of encountering Tempest totems. So it will like increase the chance to... Yeah, dude, this is gonna be like interesting as fuck from like a modding perspective, honestly. Likewise, Celestial Essence will make it more likely that you draw out the Vicious Dread. I mean, yeah, Celestial Essence. I guess this Dread is gonna be a Celestial, right? Who would have thought? If you want to level up faster, you can spend Aether Crystals to increase experience gains. Yeah, let's go. Another way of increasing experience and leveling even faster. Oops. The chance to spawn the Dread as a loot bonus? I mean, maybe it's like a loot pinata. More like he's gonna transform you into his loot pinata, probably. Okay, each mechanic is associated with a different crafting material and you can combine them in any way you please. But be aware, while the Ascension altar will aid you in your endeavors, it will also empower your enemies. Every crafting material inserted into the altar will boost monsters differently. This way, you're not only catering the gameplay to your desires, but also scaling the challenge to meet your skill level. What else do we have here? 50% increased Sunder to bosses. People are gonna love that. Health to bosses, health to monsters. Physical damage, all damage, health. Defensive ability to minions, health to minions. What are minions? It's not like your fucking pets, right? It's more like smaller, like non-boss mobs. What are minions? Weird. Yo, Frosty Dark, welcome. What is this? This is the glorious Ascendant future of Grim Dawn. This is the glorious Ascendant future of Grim Dawn. Welcome. Now, you may find yourself saying, great, I am a single parent of 6 with 3 jobs, pickleball lessons, and I also volunteer at the cat shelter across town to which I walk through 6 feet of snow every day both ways. I am a gamer, dad. I love Grim Dawn, but I simply do not have the time to play on a difficulty like Ascendant mode. We hear you, average human. Thanks to the Ascension altar being available on all difficulties, you will have the abilities to enable any of the Ascendant mode's mechanics, even if you do not play an Ascendant mode. This way, you are not missing out on any of the exciting new mechanics, but are not forced to play them either if you don't want to. Okay, so you can apparently also like use Bloodborne totems, technically normal, right, to probably like transform a totem in normal into a Tempest totem, right? They're called, yeah, Tempest totem. So you could possibly even do Tempest totems or maybe like farm their loot on normal, maybe just like with like, you know, way worse like drop chances, but you can do it if you want, right? Which is pretty cool. It's very nice. That's very nice, very nice. Sounds good to me. As a not so small aside for modders, the Ascension altar is incredibly modular, and it really looks like that, and hooks into your Lua scripting system. The possibilities you can enable in your mods with the Ascension altar are truly limited by your creativity. Like, the Ascension altar is basically like Minecraft in Grim Dawn, right? I mean, not quite, but you know what I mean, right? It's Minecraft in Grim Dawn, Minecraft in Minecraft. Grim Dawn Minecraft. You could see the entire parts of your worlds away, or spawn characters and monsters exclusively based on what materials are inserted. All while adjusting the difficulty accordingly. Similarly, you can add new recipes to the altar using materials unique to your mod. Pog. Okay, I have no idea why the flippin' alert box is like not working today again, but thank you so much for the Receptive Fairy. Thanks so much for the 14 months. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Use it to spawn the end dragon. What dragon? Dragon in Grim Dawn? Monka? I bet it won't be able to set gameplay music. That's like next level, right? Like setting music in this game. Maybe next year. Speaking of maybe next year, this system really elevates the massive Ascendant mode feature set to another level and lets you play Grim Dawn your way. And we cannot wait to get it into your hands, but unfortunately, you will have to wait a little bit longer. At this time, we are certain that Grim Dawn Fangs of Asterkarn will need to be pushed back to 2025. We sincerely believe the wait will be worth, and after today's reveal, we hope you will agree. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly what I really expected, because if they would release this year, I was expecting like playtesting to start soon-ish. Maybe like them announcing it, like for example in this very post. And yeah, but maybe next year, right? Yeah, they're cooking. They're cooking really well. If you like look at this, right? It is pretty good. It is pretty good. They're cooking well, and yeah, modders can, I don't know, rejoice or be frustrated in different ways. In the future, we'll see, right? Worth the wait. Yeah, feel the weight. Feel the weight of Grim Dawn Fangs of Asterkarn. Anyway, let me guys know what you think, and yeah. I am very hyped. I am ready to ascend.